Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video we are getting the first cut silage into the pit at long last. 3 weeks later than last year, but we're getting it done. So I've been away all morning baling, just back, so I have to drop off the baler, throw the cane onto the 7618. My sister Jess is on the pit at the minute. It's her first time ever being on the pit. They're not long after starting. The issue we had was they were waiting for Bro to come back from raking in front of me, and I was actually keeping well up behind them. It was only maybe 4 acres ahead of me, so a bit of a late start now just because of that. The 3690 is on the cane, and I think Brendan is drawn in it. He shook out the rest of the silage there this morning. So with the 3690 and the 8 rower Samaz, Liv is in the 6290 I think with one of the trainers. So I get the cane on this, and then I'll swap with Jess and let Jess start drawing, waiting on the Black Massey George to come as well. And when he gets this far, then we'll fairly start motoring into it. We'll bait into the yard, we get fusion off, trailer on, swap with Jess, and then I'm going to tip down to the field with the drone, because we're taking the full width of the pit, which I'll explain why later. We haven't done it in quite some time. We get ourselves reorganised and we get her in. Just have the cane trailer on, and I've encountered an issue. As you may see here, the little nipple on the end is after collapsing into it. The spring must have gone. And what's happening is, the way the hydraulics work is that little nipple there, there's a nipple on the inside there, and when you shove that in, the two nipples meet and they push each other open, so then oil can flow between the two. And because that is now, the spring probably broken inside, so that nipple's not there, so when you put it together, this nipple on the tractor end isn't getting pushed back to let the oil out of the tractor to flow in to tip the trailer. And that's why you always check everything before you leave the yard. You always check that everything works. You tip your trailers, you push all the buttons. You do now is get a new end. Just want to get going, so I'm going to find an old end or off something, or there might be one in the workshop shelf, and stick it on just to replace that. But yeah, tries the machine. And we're back. Let's try and get this open. It's always hard get these open. We got it. So that's what happened. So that lad sits in the bottom of it with the spring and the tip. This is the way I call it. That's what's inside that. And what's happened is that's after breaking out, so then this fell down so it wouldn't push. Stick on this one. We check that this tips, and then we check up on Jess and we send her on our merry way. Make sure it's got to tip all the way. Yeah, back and we check up with Jess. You seem quite happy there, Jess.
New job?
New job, huh? First time on the pit, what do you think?
It's grand when there's only 2 drawn.
That tractor and trailer's ready to go. There was a...
Don't draw a few if you want.
Well, you want to stay here?
There's no pressure on, so...
No, I wanted to push up.
You can do it after you've done video and out that way.
Okay, I'll draw a load or two. I was going to go out there and fly the drone, but I suppose I can... There's Brendan coming. Right, have fun! I've been just put out of a job. So for anyone who's wondering, where's Lee today? Lee has been pushed up basically all the pits so far this year. I got to spend about 3 hours on one day. And Lee is off today. He's taking today and tomorrow off. There's a 3690 coming in there now. The heron on. We'll be on with this, draw a few load, get some footage in the field. I'll fly the drone later when I'm not drawn, because I can get better footage. When I'm drawn and trying to fly the drone, that's tough. That is tough. We'll be onto the field. They're lifting the new ground first. So that's our docks and nettles, as me and Liv have decided to call it. Putting that in on the bottom of the pit. We'll be on up the road and we'll see how they're getting on. So we're just here now. There's not too much left of the new farms field. We call it the house field, there's a house in it. But yeah, doesn't look too bad. It's rode up nicely. They're not the biggest swards, but is what is. We get in underneath the spout. Eric seems to have put 2 rows side by side. Oh. So one of the things I was always told when drawing silage is to fill the back of the trailer first. Reason for that is I can see how the trailer is filling then, so that Father Phil can pay attention to what's in front of him if there's any obstacles or anything in the field that maybe there shouldn't be, or stones or sticks or whatnot. So I always aim get the back of the trailer filled, then to the front, to the back, and then Father Phil just tops off the load. The only exception to that is if you're in really wet ground or you're on really tricky bit of going, metal detector, really tricky bit of going, you fill the front first so you have more weight in the tractor, makes it easier. Right, metal detector. Big con up round. Probably a small bit of wire. It quite literally takes absolutely nothing to set it off. Yeah. Brake forward and away. Off. Put down the camera because there's more hassle than it's worth at this job. Back going again. George is here now, so we're on all four of us drawn. So we should start shifting this quite nicely, quite quickly. And that's us full. So yeah, I won't be coming back here anyways. I may find out where he's going next. Back to the yard and tip, and I'll just keep going till Jessica's like, can I swap? We'll be on. And you know something too? She's not doing too bad a job of it. Not doing too bad of a job of it at all. Hope eventually. Here we are, big field. Bro is going to be under pressure because he is literally just about 2 rounds ahead of the harvester. It's not, yeah, he's going to be under pressure. So this is what it looks like tethered out. It's just about underground now, 24 hours. That's in superb shape, that is in superb shape. That Samaz tether does a serious job. Anyways, so that's the rows. So just have to wait now for the harvester. So I'm going to stick up the drone there, maybe catch him driving down the road, and yeah, get some nice drone footage.
Walked in Friday night looking for a girl, feeling alright. Jukebox playing loud and true. Willie was singing that crazy tune. There she was, getting down, riding that bull, people crowding around. She stepped off and walked the room, got me hooked, nothing I couldn't do. I can't deny that I'm into you. She locked me up in her beautiful truth. This cowgirl's got me singing the blues. She got me hooked, yeah, she got me. Up to the bar to get her a drink. The shooting star had me on the brink. She said, cowboy, why you talking to me? You ain't John Wayne, stop pretending to be. Lose the boots and your Stetson hat. A real man doesn't need to act. Why be him when you can be you? They don't make cowboys like they used to. But I can't deny that I'm into you. You lock me up in your beautiful truth. This cowgirl now is singing the blues. You got me hooked, yeah, you got me. Ooh. Oh yeah. Ooh.
So I'm just leaving the field after flying the drone there, catching everyone, drawing a bit. And as much as I thought Jess would be under pressure, bro is going to be under ferocious pressure to keep up. Because they passed him out. As you've seen, we were just like going harder than he can. We're 4 trailers on the draw. Even 3 trailers is probably enough because George is just full there now. He's basically following me out of the field and Liv is already there to run under the spout. So 4 trailers is definitely going to keep the harvester from not having to stop for a second. This will go into the dark of the night. Could be 1 or 2 in the morning when we get it finished. But we're just going all ahead because everyone is leaving us tomorrow. Liv is going to England to see her family. Jess is going to a concert. Brendan is away, a wedding or something. Lee is away. He took the weekend off. So it's basically just me, Eric, and Father Phil and George if we were going to draw silage. But that basically leaves 2 if Eric was finished. I don't know where we're going. Jess wants to swap there now. I think she's under pressure. I have to straighten it out, Jess, do I?
Oh yeah, I've never done a bit before.
Well, you weren't doing too bad there till got a bit busy.
Just till I got busy.
We'll put the camera somewhere and we'll straighten it out. Everyone has stopped, so it's time to get some grub. Building up nicely now. 3690 seems to be running pretty good. A weep off the front there. Even that's quite wet. Engine oil. Rocker cover gasket. That's what that is. That needs to be done. Oh, dries of it. Always something. Anyways, we get some grub. We're back in after the tea. I now have my mascot Bertie with me. Isn't that right, Bertie? That's right, Bertie. So if you're wondering why is Bertie in the cab, it's because he come into the yard and he's standing around the yard and it's just like no one's saying happened to him. If I pick him up and he's in the cab with me, I know he's not going he's not going to come to any harm. I have the door shut so that's not going to be an issue. So they're about halfway through the big field, I reckon. I'm starting to look at the size of the pit, what's left to go into it, and I'm getting a little bit concerned that we may not have enough. So the big thing is the last couple of years we have been putting our first cut into that side of the pit and we'd leave the right hand side empty. We wouldn't put anything into it. And the reason for that was we'd put first cut there, whole crop there, second cut on top. Then last year we went and we put in a third cut, which was a little bit messy with the whole crop. But this year our goal is no whole crop. You heard it here first. We're not going to be cutting any whole crop this year if things work out ideally. Now there's 2 reasons why we're not going to be cutting whole crop this year. Number 1 is now we have a grain dryer. One of the reasons we used to cut whole crop was it was a pretty safe bet that you would get your crop harvested regardless of the weather, and you get your grain kept and your straw, you get the crop. And it was straightforward, simple, you didn't have to worry too much about it. We won't need to cut whole crop because we'll be able to dry all our grain. The second reason, and probably the main reason, well, I suppose this is between the two, is we think it'll be more efficient or beneficial financially beneficial for us to combine it, feed them extra barley, basically, because half of your barley was coming from the whole crop, the other half you were feeding in straight barley. So we think it'd be more financially viable for us, or financially better off, if we combine it all. We can increase, they still get the same amount of barley, it's just in a different form, but we also end up with all that straw that we'll have extra for sale over and above what we'd have of a normal year. With the price of straw at the minute, or the price, yeah, basically you could say at the minute what finished up at the end of the year was colossal. But that's why from this outset we're not going to be cutting whole crop. But that may change if we get a really shitty back end. and there's no hope of us getting everything cut, we may put in on the whole crop header, take a few fields out of it. But yeah, that's why we're going with the wide pit. I suppose I won't say too much till we finish, till we have it all in, and then we'll look at the pit and we'll say then how we're looking. Because based on that then depends on how much of our second cut goes for bales or goes to the pit, and then how hard we try and push a third cut. Because the push for a third cut is going to need, we're going to have to buy some extra urea and or basically just buy extra urea, just be able to push a third cut out of some of the ground. While we're waiting for that to tip, I'm just going to show you, because I'm looking ahead all day now. Maize is shocking. Absolutely shocking poor. That's our field of maize. You can see the runs with the polythene, that's doing fine. That's doing as you would like, maybe a little bit behind, but the uncovered stuff is poor. Why is that? The cold weather. It is incredibly mild, or more, it's better to say it's incredibly cold for this time of the year. Hardly any 20-degree heat days. That's not good for the maize, especially not under polythene plastic, whatever you want to call it. So the crop is looking quite poor, quite poor. If we don't get some hot weather in the next 2 weeks, the crop is going to be near enough a write-off, because it will not cob, it won't reach its potential. It's going to be short, and it'll be just like a crop of straw. But there's nothing we can do about it. If we had polythene, we had some chance, but without it, it ain't looking good. If now they're talking after the weekend, it may start to get warmer, but they said that about last weekend, and they never came. I'm going to stop ranting and raving and pick up the pace a bit with these loads, because now I have 2 loads tipped. Now right, Bertie, we pick up the pace. Bertie, and we get more done. Yeah, good boy. Pretty hectic here. So excuse the state of the pit at the minute. It is just trying to keep it up out of the way and trying to keep the pit short. So nearly finished the big field there, well on into it. The more of a roll you get on it, not only is it for fermentation, getting more air out with actual silage, packing it in and that, but it also makes it easier to push grass up, because you have a more firm surface for the wheels to get traction on, and to keep it pushed well that way. And the reason for that is I'm thinking of covering it. I do not want, if I let it all out to the front and let a nice gradual slope out, but I'd have a lot more covering to do. Just in tipping her load, she's the last load out of the big field. Bumped up a lot more than I thought after we had the team. So there's Jess just tipping on our first load, coming from the next farm. The only issue I'm having is, I forgot to say it earlier, there is a butt of old silage in this. So it's hard to know how much exactly, but there was kind of a bit there and then a small bit all across the front of it. And that all was just kind of pulled back, the waste taken from it and just left at the back of the pit, just kind of pulled back a bit. So it's not on top. But there's a fair bit of it just over there, and every time I roll out there, it kind of just smudges this way away from me. The first load off the last big round we mowed, it's that really heavy crop. So I lift this scoop of it up here, and you should be able to see it's not as green. There's more brown and more paler in it. So that's the sign of the butt in it, underneath the green. That lush green is where all the photosynthesis is taking place, because the green is the man is ag science all over again. Is the chlorophyll? I think that's what it's called. I'm going to say chloroform, but I know that's not what it is. It's chlorophyll, something like that. But that's the green pigment. So where the sunlight doesn't get, your plant goes a darker colour, because it's of no advantage to the plant there. So just after getting a message from Ruth there, so bring that last bit. As I said, I haven't been mowed in 2 years anyways, and looks like we hit wire in the field. So I got a message, hit a lot of wire in that corner, it's for baling. So I actually got his for baking, but that's all crap for you. And the next thing as well, to show how heavy it is, the spout is blocked. And they know it's not good when you see everyone put it up. But what's the verdict?
It's blocked.
Just blocked. Did it block from one end to the other, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it blocked at the end of the spout. Well, at least the spout is falling apart, so it's not too bad. Makes it easy to get it out, does it?
Easy access.
Easy access. How's that looking? Huh? So it's blocked from right up there all the way down. I did pull out the wire. Why did it block? Aye, but why did... It just went boo. Just have a look at the rows while they're at that. It's actually, it seems to have dried quite nicely. It's not, doesn't feel very sappy or that, but yeah. It is heavy, alright. There's enough grass on them anyways. I think we're back in action. I think it must be 1:30 now. So not 1:30, 12:30. Yeah, it's just after 12:30. So about half an hour downtime. I think what the issue was because they were picking wire in the corner. Because once you pick wire, it stop, start. That could have been what was wrong. So I'm going to have some baling to be done here tomorrow when I go baling the multi-species sward. Whatever they don't lift here, I'll have to bale the detector. I'm going to have a lot to bale tomorrow. So I do. Back to the pit for me. But give an estimate. What do you think? What time do you think we'll be finished at? I reckon, depending on wire, the guts of, at this stage, 3 o'clock. I reckon somewhere between 2:30 and 3 o'clock in the morning we should be finished. Yeah. The joys of silage. There's one job we done, I think 2 or 3 years ago now, with all the silage trailers. We put on 2 extra red markers and an LED flasher on all the silage trailers. Some bloody job. To do it, yeah, we'll have to get the green trailers done. We'll have the lights are there, it's just time to get them done is the issue. But savage job. Never have enough lights. So I had 2 phone calls, one after another. Very interesting phone calls. First one, Father Phil. 3 more load when George gets this far, so it's probably about 4 or 5 more load. Bit is pretty big. Second, next phone call. Liv rang me. Front wheels after blowing off the 6290. Why? No. So thankfully she's just beside some of the land that we have on the main road, and she's right beside the gate, so she's just going to rim it in to the field and we'll assess the situation tomorrow. Goodbye. That is the last of it there, and it started to rain. Mist. So it is 2:20 in the morning. I'm going to spend half an hour to an hour on this, just shove it all up, tidy it up, roll it, tidy the edges, just give it a bit of a tidy, give it another roll tomorrow before we cover it, but just like give it tidy, compacted, so that if we do get a lot, when there's no massive amount of rain in the forecast, but just have it nice and tight, and it mightn't take too much rain. But anyways, that's the crack, and then we'll see what stories we live tractor tomorrow and cover the pit. We get this job wrapped up and we pick it up. So it is the next morning. We're in the 3690, and you may be wondering, thought you said you were going to stay and roll it. Well, that's what I wanted to do, but the veneering had other issues. So it, just as I was finished, I was just trying to tidying up the face of the pig, giving a bit of a fluff up, just, you know, putting a nice edge on it. And next thing, there was a and I could hear oil running, and it bust there, and I just backed it back there and knocked it off, and it seems to have missed a lot more oil since. Yeah, so the loading shovel first, I piped something in the chest valve between the front axle, is where all the chest valve, all the pipe work goes for the loader. Somewhere in there, there's something bust. So I just backed it back, knocked it off. I suspect this. And as Father Phil would say, it's the old superstition, bad things come in trees, or things break in trees. So we had the spout getting blocked, blowing off a tyre off front of the tractor, and then the loading shovel blowing up, busting a pipe or chest valve, we don't know. That'll be Monday morning's job. Straightening that out, because we'll be back at pits on Tuesday by the look of things. So it has to be fixed Monday. So we finish this off. It's not too bad. I might have done a little bit more bits of leveling or that, but it won't be too bad. And you try and get rolling out to 3690, or do a bit before I go baling. Just waiting on Eric to service the rake, and then I'll be off behind them. So, and then I'm just going to try and get her packed down a bit. But we'll cover it later on when we get the baling done. One of those days, and to be fair, every pit we've done so far, we had a full clean run bill of hand, not even a puncture on the trailer. Get this pit rolled as best we can, and we get her covered later on. But yeah, enjoy. So it's the next evening, and yes, I'm on the phone again because I just don't have the camera with me. So Liv, the tyre went in her just coming up here, so she literally couldn't have went in a better spot. But she says the tyre's gone. Yeah, the tyre's gone. And that's only like a new tyre.
Yeah, that tyre, look, I don't know how old that tyre was.
But wasn't that tyre bought new the time the 64A broke, and you bought them for Uncle Ian to go ploughing? Because the front wheels were put on it, no?
That's from the rim of this, that's where she burst.
Down there.
No,
Tyres bollocksed.
She needs a tyre. That was bought with the back too, as a patch off kind of a matching set.
So we're just on the new farm. Bullocks are just out there, so they cross the road. We put them here. We've all our fencing done. The farm is fully fenced now, except for I have to do some internal paddocks in the big field out there, but that's the story for another day. Bulls are on out there then, but all the old growth is gone. Maybe we might do an update on the new farm if you want to see an update on the new farm we've taken, how things are looking. Just let me know in the comments, say yup, update on the new farm or whatever. If we get 20 comments saying have a look at the new farm, we'll do so. We'll make a video specifically on how we're getting on with it. But anyways, this is the crack. Just happened to go in the right spot though for Liv. Yeah, that happened further down the road, or that. Yeah, there's an old saying, it's better be born lucky than rich, even though it's unlucky to have it happen, but it's lucky where it happens. And for some strange reason, every time things seem to go wrong in us, it seems to be in a relatively lucky spot.